This is going to be a short review of the Logitech Touchpad wireless T650. I've already had this box open. It's not an unboxing. It's just a short review of its function and how I feel it operates. It's technically made for the Windows 8 operating system. However, I use the Windows 7 operating system, and it does work. I've already had it hooked up. There are some really useful gestures that you can use with this system. As you can see, the packaging, I pulled it out of the box. Box is obviously a box. The packaging is pretty nice, pretty secure, well covered, manual, warranty information, stuff in the back. Dongle is buried in the bottom of the box. I want to call it a dongle. That's what I would assume it would be called. Just remove that, pull it out of the plastic. Obviously, if you've used a wireless mouse before, it's basically, you know, plug and play. You just stick it in there, it downloads the driver information, and then you're installed. However, on this one, there's additional software on Logitech's website that you can use to customize the buttons, some of the gestures, things like that. I'm going to move that box out of the way because it's pretty awkward. Your dongle, obviously, in the bottom of the box. The pad itself is covered in plastic with some warranty information, install information. If you're like me, I don't ever look at that crap. Probably should. I would have known to charge it before I installed it. It wouldn't run into the battery issues I did. I'm just going to take it out of the packaging. There's not a whole lot to see there. Like I said, just some basic information. It does come with a USB charger. Kind of nifty. It had a two connectors on it to roll it up and secure it, which I thought was kind of cool. I'll show you the back. It has some install information on the sticker. Obviously, they're showing you that the power on button is on the side. Let me remove this plastic out of the way. I put two pieces of paper down here to have a little bit more contrast so you can see better. I'll put this down here, not on top of the dongle. Something I noticed with this is the surface itself is very, very slick. It's got a bit of a matte finish, and it's very nice to the touch. Always remains very, like, I don't know, metalish. They say it's glass. Perhaps it is, but it feels cool to the touch. Some of the functions are your right click is the bottom corner here, and you can feel a slight click as you press down on it, which is pretty intuitive. Your left click is anywheres in the center, bottom, anywhere on the pad itself. Your right click is to the right. Some of the basic gestures are your single click, your left click, your right click. However, if you use two fingers and slide up, is your scroll. If you use two fingers left to right, is your left to right scroll. Let me see here. Your three fingers to the left is your back button. Three fingers to the right, your forward button. Like I was saying with Windows 7, is you can pin a window to the left and right and then minimize it to the bottom. it's using 4 fingers. 4 fingers to the left pins it to the left, to the right minimizes it down. I believe there's additional functions for the Windows 8. Obviously there is, because it's made for Windows 8, and I'm not sure of those functions. I'm going to try and put a link in the bottom to the Logitech website so that you can see the additional functions. Personal review is I really like it. It's made a lot of difference for me using Windows 7. It feels smooth. The scrolling's very smooth. The surface, I like the surface. It's kind of on the touchpad on a laptop. It's kind of like that. However, you have more control with this. You have more surface area. It's not like you have to push over and over and over and over to get to the corner of the window. It's generally about the size of the whole window. So if you're pointing in one direction or another, you go from one end of the window to the other. So you don't have to keep scrolling over until you get to the position you want and then click. I'm going to hook it up. I'm going to see if I can get some screen capture and post it with this video. This is Logitech's website where you go to download the drivers or programs you need to customize the buttons. Okay, list is on Logitech's website is $79.99. I use this app to give me the best price over a couple different websites. Amazon's listing it for $54.87. I bought it retail for about 60 something, 65, which is comparable to other mice or mouse or whatever you want to call it. Usually the upper end of mice. Let me go into Windows 7 gestures, which I am using. I am not using Windows 8. Like I said before, left click is in the center, right click is to the right hand corner, middle click brings up a scrolling window, left, right, up, down. Let me get out of there. Scrolling with your 2 fingers from side to side. If I minimize this and to see the rest of the screen, if you scroll left to right with 2 fingers, it scrolls the window left to right. If you scroll up and down with 2 fingers, it scrolls the whole page up and down. Additionally, with 3 fingers, I apologize, with 4 fingers, if you wanted to maximize this window, you use 4 fingers and swipe up, maximizing the window. We'll get to that in a second. Your back button and your forward button are 3 fingers. Swipe to the left is back, swipe to the right is forward. And let's see here, your zoom, easiest to do when you have one on the pad and slide with the other. Of course, it's not going to work for me now. There we go. One on the pad and slide the other is the easiest way to zoom in and out. Scrolling down. Switching applications. If you have more than one application open, Windows 7 allows you to scroll through them like a Rolodex. I don't have more than one open right now, but if you swipe up with your 3 fingers, it'll come up in a Rolodex kind of view. Let me see if I can open something up, and I'll open up my playlist. It's just alright, swipe up with 3 fingers. You get a kind of Rolodex effect. Click on it and it brings up the next. Sliding down will show your desktop. Alright. I went through this already. To maximize and minimize a desktop window, you either slide up to maximize, down to minimize, and to snap left and right, you use 4 fingers, snap left, snap right, up to maximize. Let's go. We'll go back. Scroll down to Windows 8 gestures because they're slightly different, because this is actually made for Windows 8. I'm just going to scroll down through the ones we already are aware of. Now we get to switching applications. Windows 8, your applications are always open. They're never closed. So you can swipe through each application that you have open. Windows 8 Charms is where your window is to look up things in your market and on your computer. Also, there's settings in there. Windows 8 swipe down is applications menu, and your minimize and maximize are the same. However, in Windows 8, you can only pin an application to one side or the other. If you have 2 applications open, one of the applications will take up 1/3 of the window. The other application will take up 2/3 of the window. You cannot snap to half the screen, which is kind of one of the things I didn't like about Windows 8. I don't know whether that's been corrected since, or whether there's a hack that you can be able to do that, but it's one of the things I'm not real fond of, and that's why I switched back to Windows 7. Hopefully this has helped you out. Let me reiterate, this is my first video. Depending on the response I get, I may do more. Hopefully this has been a help. And altogether, I would definitely recommend this product. Have a good day.